New this morning, it's coming down, the wintry mix that we've seen in our northern communities in the last hour.
And that's why today is a WRAL Weather Alert Day. I'll show you what's falling now and what to expect for the rest of the day.
And we are tracking those issues on the roads out there because of this wet weather. This is a live look right now. The WRAL Storm Tracker is on US 501 in Roxborough. Laura Levine getting ready for a live report there for us. We'll tell you how these conditions could affect your morning commute.
And Fort Liberty changing its name again. We'll tell you what it's changing it to and why.
And panic button. Today, Wake school leaders will give new details about plans to keep your kids safe on campus. Good morning, everyone. It is 6 o'clock, and we are here to keep you safe on this WRAL Weather Alert Day. It is going to feel miserable and raw. I'm Renee Chu.
I'm Jeff Hogan. Yeah, and all day long as well. Thanks for making us part of your routine here early on our Tuesday morning. And some of those school changes, those decisions leaders had to make include a heads up for parents because they're changing their schedules today. Up north, chance for winter weather. It's happening right now. Mecklenburg County, Virginia schools are closed. Other school systems in our northern counties delayed or remote learning. You can find a complete list of this on WRAL.com.
And just a few hours ago, we did see some snow falling in the so-called snow capital of Roxborough. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner shows us what's falling right now.
We take a look at dual Doppler 5000 radar. Notice the blue area. That's where we could be seeing some snow. But this is, of course, just an estimate that the radar makes based on the temperature and the precipitation. Notice first, before we zoom in there, not much rain falling across the rest of the viewing area. It may stay fairly light during the morning commute for a lot of us, but the evening commute may be even messier. So let's go up here and you can see sort of the border between snow and a wintry mix and rain south of Roxborough. The farther north you go, especially up around South Hill, Mecklenburg County, Virginia, you're more likely to be seeing some snow there. It could be a light coating as we get through the next few hours. But most of what we're seeing here in our counties just south of the Virginia line are just some wintry mix. We're seeing some video there and some pictures of Roxborough right now. It looks like there's some rain mixing with sleet and snow, so that wintry mix. By lunchtime, most of us will be looking at just rain, but there may be some mix from time to time during the evening. Watch how the rain really picks up as we get into the late afternoon and evening, and that rain continues overnight tonight, and it'll be an issue for tomorrow morning too. We have a winter weather advisory in effect for that mixed wintry precipitation, and it is a winter storm warning up in South Hill where there's the potential for a little bit more snow. The real issue here will be slick bridges. Our temperatures are above freezing everywhere, so it's going to be just minor. Triangle area roads will not be affected. Here's a look at Roxborough, and boy, earlier there were some nice little snowflakes falling there, but now it looks like a good bit of rain, probably some sleet mixing in. 39 is our temperature in the Triangle. Our forecast today just holds it right there in the upper 30s, so a fairly miserable day. And it's not over. We're going to see Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday with rain. I'll show you how much total coming up, Ken.
Elizabeth, at 6:03, we're going to start outside. No problems to report in any of our roads in Wake County and nearby communities. This is I-40 and Wade Avenue. Traffic definitely picking up but flowing nicely in both directions. Similarly, when we widen out the view, give you a look at our live traffic sensors this morning. No incidents to report whatsoever in any of our major routes from Wendell, Wally Doom, and Chapel Hill, which means that everything is delay-free at this hour. We've got some wintry mix already falling in northern counties like Person County, and that's where we find WRAL's Laura Levine and photojournalist Charles Bradley giving us a first-hand account of what you're seeing right now. Laura, good morning.
Ken, good morning. We're now back in the storm tracker here in Roxborough, taking a live look at US 501 in Person County. Within the past hour, we were able to see some of that snow, sleet mix. Right now, we're just having a light rain. Whenever we get into the areas where we have light, you're able to see a little bit better, a little bit of snow, but it's just really a mess out here. I want to go ahead and get that video up now, if we can, of what we saw about an hour ago, around 5:15. We hopped out of the storm tracker once we arrived here in Roxborough, and this is what we saw. We saw just light snow flurries coming down. Of course, none of it sticking to the ground because the pavement and road temperatures above freezing here in Roxborough. We know the DOT has been preparing for this. They had some trucks out, one truck exactly on I-85 in Person County and in the area, laying down that brine to make sure that they're able to really respond to that winter weathery mix that we have going on right now. the DOT spokesperson says that they really focused on bridges as well, because we know that ice can freeze over pretty quickly on bridges. So if you're traveling out this morning, please take your time, slow down, take it easy, because we're going to be stuck with this weather for a couple of hours here on your Tuesday. Laura Levine, WRAL News, live in Person County.
Just before 2 o'clock this morning, the WRAL breaking news tracker got this video of an SUV being towed away from a crash. It happened on Pool Road in Raleigh, right near Hodge Road. You can see the vehicle's front end badly damaged there. All the airbags went off. We're working to learn if anyone was hurt in that crash and what caused it.
Police say a person was hurt after they were hit by a car in Raleigh. This happened around 9 last night on South Saunders Street near the intersection of Carolina Pines Avenue. Police say the driver stayed on scene and cooperated with investigators. Police have not said if any charges will be filed.
Covering Wake County today, a new tool to keep your kids safe in school is under review. And WRAL's Kelsey Coffey joins us live from Wake School's headquarters in Cary with a new panic button app. Kelsey, that is launching in less than a week.
Yes, Jeff, school board members will meet in the next few hours to talk about the next steps in implementing the RAVE panic button app to schools district-wide. So this is what that app looks like. You can select the type of emergency that you're experiencing, like an active assailant or a fire. It's designed to help teachers notify 911, first responders, and administration during an emergency. More than 130 Wake County schools could be using the app by next week. Teachers in about 24 schools already have it as a part of a pilot program. Wake school leaders originally hoped to use the app district-wide at the start of the school year, but a software glitch pushed back that rollout.
My hope is that it doesn't become sort of a burden to staff, and they feel like it's of use to them and a good resource for them to use when there are safety concerns in their classroom or hallway or in their school.
The district-wide rollout is scheduled to be next Monday. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Cary.
Fort Liberty is changing its name again. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth has signed a memorandum declaring the Army will rename the post. WRAL's Michelle McConaughey is here now. Michelle, there's a twist with this.
Yeah, Renee, it'll be Fort Bragg again, but the post will be named for a different Bragg. According to Hegseth, the fort will be named after Private First Class Roland L. Bragg, who served with the Army during World War II. Hegseth sent out a memo yesterday about the change. He says it honors the personal courage and selfless service of all of those who have trained to fight and win our nation's wars, including Private First Class Bragg. From 1922 to 2023, the post was named after Braxton Bragg, a Confederate general during the Civil War, for his actions during the Mexican-American War. Now, discussions for the base's first name change began back in 2020 in the wake of the George Floyd protests. In 2023, the base changed its name to Fort Liberty. During a campaign stop in Fayetteville, then Republican nominee Donald Trump said he would restore the base's original name. The changes back then cost about $6 million. It's unclear how much it'll cost to change the name back to Fort Bragg.
And today, state lawmakers returned to Raleigh to consider more relief money for people affected by Hurricane Helene. A House committee is scheduled to meet to review a proposal for $500 million in additional spending. It's less than half the amount Governor Josh Stein proposed. Republican lawmakers in the chamber have taken a wait-and-see approach to relief. The state Senate is also weighing its own proposal.
This morning, an investigation into what caused a jet to collide with a parked plane at an airport in Arizona is underway. Video shows the moment of impact as the jet speeds down the runway at the Scottsdale airport. Investigators say the pilot was killed and the co-pilot was taken to the hospital. We know the plane is owned by Motley Crue singer Vince Neil. A spokesperson says Neil was not on board. Officials say it appears the plane veered off the runway after its main landing gear failed. The crash follows several aviation disasters in recent weeks, including the mid-air collision in D.C. and the crash in Philadelphia.
Time is 6:09 here in the WRAL Live Center with President Trump placing that 25% tariffs on aluminum and steel. It looks like the European Union is reacting to that this morning, saying that this will not, quote, go unanswered. The leaders of the European Union say they will act to safeguard their economic interests. But in terms of what this means going forward, the EU leaders say the response will mean, quote, firm and proportionate countermeasures. Now, in terms of how investors could be reacting to this news this morning, this is a look at the U.S. futures, seeing that the S&P down 21, Dow Jones down 102, and the NASDAQ down about the same. Watch closely to see how this all unfolds, because as Germany's leaders are saying that right now, a trade war does not benefit either side, and everyone essentially kind of loses a little bit.
Chris, thank you. 6:10 now, ceasefire in jeopardy. Warnings to Hamas from both Israel and President Trump as the release of hostages is now in question.
Safety in data, the information your car and traffic apps collect that can help make driving in tough conditions less dangerous.
And we do have some driving issues out there this morning. It's a WRAL weather alert day. We're looking at a chilly rain for most of us, but some seeing a little wintry mix. I'll show you what it will look like as you head out the door.
Stay safe with the latest WRAL Weather Alert Day info. Get up to the minute weather and traffic conditions when you get in your car. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM, in Durham 96.5 FM, and everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:13, it's a WRAL weather alert day. We have very light rain falling across most of the viewing area, but the rain that started, or the precipitation that began here, started as snow, starting to really see that changeover, especially in Roxborough. And now look how the green stretches all the way from Henderson back up towards South Hill. So this is much more of a wintry mix at this point. We do have the potential of this really ramping up as we get into the afternoon, all as rain, but it could mean a very messy evening commute for us. We do have a winter weather advisory in effect for our northern counties, and that does include Durham and Orange County, Mecklenburg County, Virginia, a winter storm warning. That's where there'll likely be maybe the chance of a little light snow accumulation. Everybody else really just going to see a wintry mix and possibly some slick bridges, Ken.
All right, Elizabeth, no incidents to report on any of our major routes. We're going to start in Durham, give you a live look at I-885 and TW Alexander Drive. Traffic is definitely picked up but flowing nicely in both directions. In terms of other major routes into the Bull City, you're just looking at a 1-minute delay coming in on Highway 98 this morning. So really a good news for you if you're heading into the Bull City. As for the capital city, we're just seeing a 2-minute delay coming in from Wake Forest. And Renee, coming up, we'll check back in with the WRAL Storm Tracker on the road in Person County that's already seeing a little bit of wintry mix.
All right, Ken, thank you. President Donald Trump is urging Israel to cancel its ceasefire deal if Hamas does not release more hostages by noon on Saturday as scheduled. Hamas says it will delay the release because it claims Israel has violated terms of the ceasefire. It says Israel has refused to allow aid into Gaza and delaying people from returning. It also says Israel is continuing its shelling and gunfire. Israel's defense minister calls a delay in hostage release a complete violation of the ceasefire agreement. President Trump agrees.
Saturday at 12 o'clock, and if they're not here, all hell is going to break out.
There has been growing concern among both Israelis and Palestinians over whether the deal will hold.
This week marks 10 years since 3 Muslim students were murdered in their home in Chapel Hill. Dia Barakat, his wife Yusur Abu Salah, and her sister Razan. They were shot to death at their apartment in Chapel Hill in 2015. Their neighbor, Craig Hicks, pleaded guilty to murder. Prosecutors called it a hate crime against Muslims. Both UNC and NC State will screen a documentary examining the 2015 murders, followed by a panel discussion. The screening at UNC is tonight at 6:30. It'll be hosted by the UNC Muslim Association in the Great Hall. The event at NC State is tomorrow at 7 at Witherspoon Auditorium.
As Russia's war with Ukraine nears the 3-year mark, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says he is ready to negotiate. During an interview with a British news outlet, Zelensky says he is willing to negotiate with Russian President Vladimir Putin, but only if the U.S. and Europe continue to support Ukraine and, quote, provide security guarantees.
Orange County school leaders say they support immigrant students and their families. They unanimously passed a resolution that says the board recognizes the concerns about the Trump administration's crackdown on illegal immigration. Board members say they are trying to address those concerns. They emphasize that every child in North Carolina has a legal right to an education.
Experts say data our cars and map apps collect can help keep us safe on slick roads like the ones we may drive on today. This technology collects and shares data about driving habits and locations. The information can be organized to show traffic patterns over specific time periods. Tracking and predicting congestion on roads during storms can help drivers make more informed decisions.
And the reason that's important is everybody looks at Google Maps or Apple Maps and they know green is good, red is bad. And that is connected data at its most basic element, whether it comes in from a phone or whether it comes in from a car. We're at the point right now where about 5% of the cars in the United States are connected.
This technology helps local officials plan when to send out plows and salt trucks ahead of peak travel times.
It's 6:17 right now, and in our world, green is rain, blue could be snow. Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center right now with a look at people going north are going to run into this at some point.
Especially if you're driving up into Virginia. This is a look at Dual Doppler 5000 radar. First of all, just notice that in most of our viewing area, nothing is happening or just a little bit of light patchy rain. So this is not going to be a big issue for most of us for the morning commute. Let's go on up here to the Virginia line. We had this starting early as a little bit of snow in, say, Person County. It looks like it's really changed over. We're looking at the camera here in Roxborough. Notice the radar showing that as well. More greens and purples. Purple is going to be a wintry mix where there could be rain, sleet, snow, even freezing rain mixing in. And notice how that green rain has really popped on up into, say, Mecklenburg County, Virginia. So most of our viewing area is seeing a wintry mix that's not likely to cause a lot of problems because our temperatures are above freezing. Fayetteville is dry. Durham is a little bit wet. We've had a little bit of drizzle there. Apex, Chapel Hill, all still dry, but we have a much better chance for rain after lunchtime. We take a look at Futurecast, and again, it's all really been up near the Virginia line, but watch how we get through the morning, and a lot of that lifts northward. Isolated showers here at 9 a.m., and then we'll see that really starting to pick up in intensity right after lunchtime. So maybe wet for your lunch hour, and then the evening commute looks really messy, especially from the Triangle area northward. More rain tonight and into the start of the day tomorrow. We do have that winter weather advisory in effect for our northern counties. Winter storm warning in Mecklenburg County, Virginia. That's where we have the best chance of seeing maybe a light dusting of snow accumulating. But, a lot of this is just a wintry mix, and it's not likely to be a big deal. Up near the Virginia line, north of I-85, slick bridges are a possibility. The potential for slick roads is really minimal. And here in the Triangle, it's not going to be a concern. We're really not even going to see a whole lot of rain. Those rain chances definitely go up tonight and tomorrow. Thursday, we could see some thunderstorms. Right now, the driest day of the week looks like Friday, just in time for Valentine's Day. So if you're planning to go out for Valentine's Day, it finally looks dry. Overnight, though, we do see rain. The morning commute for tomorrow is going to be really messy. It's still going to be cold and wet. And we see that rain starting to lift by lunchtime out of our viewing area. So just a real wet period this afternoon and through tomorrow morning. We're likely to see anywhere from 1.5 inches of rain to 2.5 inches of rain. We definitely need the rain, but we have very cold temperatures to go along with it. 39 today, 43 tomorrow. Thursday, we have a chance of some scattered thunderstorms. Temperatures will be a little bit warmer, but Ken, it's going to feel like this rain is never ending by the end of the week.
Yeah, and I think the folks in our northern counties are feeling the same way, and that's where we're going to start this morning. We've got the WRAL storm tracker out on the roads as a result of the winter weather advisory in that neck of the woods. Right now, Laura Levine and photographer Charles Bradley are on Highway 158 there in Person County. You can see the windshield wipers going intermittently. As Elizabeth just mentioned, really and truly, what started as a wintry mix now changed over to rain, but we'll be checking in with them periodically. Back here, as we take a look at our traffic map, we'll take a live look at I-40 and Lake Wheeler Road. This still was taken just in the last few seconds. Traffic has definitely picked up and moving nicely in all directions. Similarly with I-40, no incidents or delays to report anywhere on I-40, and if that's part of your morning commute, that's really good news. You're getting ready to head out this morning. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3. You can listen to us anywhere in the Triangle.
Ken, thanks. A school employee accused of assaulting an 8-year-old student. What authorities say she did to the boy and the charges she's now facing.
Also, I-40 is almost ready to reopen in western North Carolina months after Hurricane Helene. The work crews there have done after a setback in December.
And here's a look at your winning lottery numbers. We'll be back with what's trending.
WRAL's What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
The big Super Bowl winners, both on and off the field, are enjoying the spoils of their success.
Ken Smith's here now. It's What's Trending. Ken, good morning.
Yeah, and rightly so, Jeff and Renee. The game's MVP, Jalen Hurts, keeping a Super Bowl tradition alive. He went to Disney World. He was treated to a parade down Disney's Main Street alongside Mickey and all their closest friends.
Yeah, and after that, he got to ride some of the rides with his fiancee, Bree Burrows. Looks like they had a fun time. Way to let loose after, all that pressure cooker of a Super Bowl. You deserve it.
I heard him say he was going to do it.
Yep.
Going to Disney World.
There you go.
That's what
lived
you
up to
do.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Hey, the Super Bowl halftime show still trending this morning. Kendrick Lamar's halftime performance drawing more people to his music. Spotify says his streaming numbers went up 175% in the hours following that show. His big hit, of course, Not Like Us, seeing the biggest boost.
Biggest boost, not the only boost, though, as other songs also got a boost out of it. Some have called this, they've ranked it the third best halftime show of all time there. But, a lot of folks, I think, of a certain age, maybe researched that to try to figure out what the words were. What was he saying?
Right. Googling lyrics, Right.
I've heard it. Ken, thanks. Luka Doncic is a winner in his debut with the LA Lakers. The superstar played 24 minutes, some limited time there in his first game with the team after that blockbuster trade brought him to LA last week. Scored 14 points as the Lakers just eased him into the lineup, and he helped his new team get a win over the Utah Jazz.
The second pass of Raleigh's seasonal leaf collection starts soon. It begins Monday in Zone 5. That's the area between Falls of Neuse and Capitol Boulevard. Other zones are encouraged to prepare their leaves for pickup in advance. Place only leaves in your yard between the curb and the sidewalk, no more than 6 feet from the edge of the pavement.
Keeping your kids safe. The update we're expecting from Wake County schools today about a new security tool for use in emergencies.
And we take a look at the big picture here. You can see lots of snow to our north. Most of what we're going to see is rain. It is a WRAL weather alert day. I'll show you what to expect this morning and for the rest of the day.
A big change comes to Google Maps, who will be seeing Gulf of America on their screen, and the other new name that is soon on the way.